One of the things that I really want to accomplish by bringing this group together is I want us to network with each other. I want us to edify, lift each other up. I mean, what better way to build businesses for the kingdom than starting right here at Grace Church with the many businesses that we have here? I mean, just the amount of people that have registered for this group alone, it's about 40 people. So if we take that into account, that's 40 individual small businesses that are being, that are being hosted by members at Grace. And so that is something that is amazing. And if we all continue to support each other, refer each other business, I think that again will just help edify and build the church and advance the vision that the pastors have. I'm reading this book called "Stay in Your Lane" by Lee Dominique. He was a speaker at Grace Church at one of the legacy meetings, at one of the legacy gatherings they had a few months back. And I started doing some research on him, and I had a feeling he has written a book or two or three, and he has. And he also has a podcast, and his name's Lee Dominique. And he wrote a book, and I believe the title is called "Stay in Your Lane." And it's about business leaders running your businesses efficiently because we help the pastors achieve their vision for the church and how the church reaches out into the community. Because if we think about it, many of the presents, let's just take the last outreach project we had at Grace was Christmas. Now, we had an abundance of gifts. There were gifts left over during the days that I volunteered, which was amazing, right? Which means that we had an abundance of givers out there. Now, that's symbolic of the overflow that we have in our own storehouses. Now, we can take that further and think if there's initiatives that the church has that need to be done, or we have the capacity to get done through our business stewardship of stewarding our business as well, then we can help advance that vision faster. So the pastor, proclaims the vision of the church, and the business leaders like ourselves, we help set the pace of how fast that vision gets completed. So that's why I believe it's really important that we do, listen to the call of God on our lives. So again, I want to make sure I have as complete of a list. So if you see that link in the chat, and you're able to complete that here within the conversation today, then please take some time to complete that. I would greatly appreciate that. And I'll share that with everybody. I do believe I set it up to where you can almost look at the results immediately. So that would be a benefit to you as well. All right, so let's jump into this. I wanted to start by talking about how God is the best marketer, the best marketer. And I have some real examples, and then I also have some tangible examples of how we can see that in what we're doing today. All right, let me see here. All right, and I think it's recording. Okay, great. So I just want to start by saying that our core business, we need to have a core group of people around us based on the direction that we're going within our business. And so what I'm saying about that is I'm going to give you an example from me, right? So for a real estate agent, a real estate broker, I have core people around me that help, that I talk to, that I get advice from, that I mastermind with. I have a lender that I've partnered with, a title company rep, and then I have, some inspectors, and then of course my real estate agent. So there's a small core group of people that I network with and really mastermind to advance my business. And I believe that's the same. And Jesus set that example, right? So I think hopefully you know where I'm going with this when it comes to a core group of people around you. Jesus went out and found his 12. Right. And I'm not saying you need 12 people, depending on the size of your business, but I do think you need a core group of people, right? At its smallest, Jesus had a group of 3 with him that he went and invited to the top to pray with him. And that is amazing. And I think that just shows, yes, we may have a big group of people, but then we also need even a smaller group, a very intimate group that we can really, really connect with. That's not afraid to tell us the truth, that's not afraid to be real in a kind and gentle and edifying way, not in a rude, crass, or put down kind of way, but a really solid group of people, right? So Jesus connected with the apostles, and I'm going to read this here. They were his companions. They learned a lot from him. Jesus learned a lot about them. And I got this from Matthew 10:1. He gave them authority and power to cast out demons and heal. Right. And I think as we continue to get to know our Lord and Savior, as we continue to get to know our core group of people, we will continue to empower each other. And I think that is also a point of this group, is that we are equipping, we are encouraging, we are empowering each other to go and, do our business to the fullest, right? And grow our business to the fullest that we can. The other thing I wanted to say is, yeah, Jesus knew that starting a business was hard. That's why he gathered the 12. And so again, I think the point here, this is a relatively simple one, and I think we all know this, but when we start seeing these examples from the Bible, I think it starts to be more evident that these aren't just random principles that business leaders have, like, oh yeah, I figured out that I really need a core group. No, like it was kind of already there. It's been there the whole time. And it just emphasizes the importance of us having it. So if we don't have that right now in your business, right? If you can't list off 2, 3 people right now, honestly, what you need to write down on your notes is find a core group that is similar to your business. So me, I'm real estate. So if you are a real estate agent, we need to connect. Like, we need to directly connect to kind of mastermind how to advance our businesses within the kingdom. And I know that I believe there is a few other lawn services companies. And that's what that list that I'm going to send out to everybody will do. It'll give you the opportunity to find your core group of people so you can network with, mastermind with. And the reality is, guys, if one thing I want to say in regards to connecting and networking with people that are in your same industry, I hope this thought doesn't come to your head, but thinking like, oh my gosh, well, what if they steal my ideas? Or what if they, take some of my clients? And the reality is, we're moving forward with integrity. We're moving forward with honesty. We gain it in drops and we lose it in buckets. And so if through networking here, one of those thoughts comes to your mind, you're operating your business with a closed fist. Once we start operating our business this way and we start connecting with people, I think that's when we will continue to see the growth in our business, growth in ourselves. It brings humility, but there is plenty of business in Houston. There's over 6 million people in Houston. And you really need to do the calculations for your business to determine the income you want to achieve. How many of those millions do you need to achieve the income that you want to make in 2024? And so I'm pretty sure it's not all 6 million, right? So just saying, just throwing that out there. All right. So point number 1 was we need a core business group and we need a core team. Point number 2, referral partners, right? So he healed them. And many of them, guess what they did? They went out and they spread the word. They're like, oh my gosh, you got to work with Jesus. He healed me. He can heal you too, girlfriend. Right? So referral partners. The one that I think for me came to my head the fastest was where it said the woman at the well. We know the story, the woman in the well. Once he had that interaction with her, it was a deep interaction. And I think you likely have a core group of clients that you need to maintain a strong relationship with. This is beyond the business partners and the accountability. What I'm talking about is a strong referral network or a referral group of people that are your VIPs, right? Your very important people that are your core advocates, that they are talking about you because they authentically loved the way you made them feel and the service you provided them, right? She went out and told everybody in the town, and then everybody in the town came and wanted to talk to Jesus. They wanted to bring their sick. They wanted to bring their lame. And I think that point speaks for itself, right? We need referral partners. So those are the first 2 points. And those are, I think, the most, the easiest, right? You're like, hey, Matt, you said you're going to bring a ton of value, things that I haven't heard. And I know, but at the same time, there are many things within the Bible that God reiterates and reiterates and reiterates and reiterates, right? How many times, if you have kids, raise your hand. How many times do you tell them to clean their room? How many times do you tell them to do something? How many times? Guys, he is our Father, and he is telling us we need core advocates. We need referral partners. We need those things to advance our business. So if you can't list out like 10 people that have referred you business within the last year, that means you need to do something about how you're connecting with your people, right? And I'm going to share with you some things. Oh, I should have brought an example in here. But this is my logo, right, for Marathon Realty. I created cups, and I branded some tumblers, right? Some Arctic tumblers, I guess now they're all full of lead, right? That's like the latest thing. They're like full of lead. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? So, but the Lord covers, and so the Lord, I'll pray over them and send them out. But what I'm doing is when somebody refers me business, before it may never close, but if they give me a name and a number and I meet with that person, I'm sending that person who referred me business a mug. And it means so much. Like I sent it to one couple and they were like, hey, Matt, I think I need to refer you somebody else because my wife and I fight for who gets to use your mug. And so I was like, all right, well, hey, send me another, right? Send me some more business. But I think it's the way we make them feel. So it's you want to reward the behavior of what you want to receive, right? So of course, the goal is to get the business closed, right? So if your goal is to sell more books, or if your goal is to do more lawns, if your goal is whatever your business end goal is, relative to the I'm saying commission, but relative to the revenue that you're earning by closing that deal, whether it's selling earrings, whether it's selling quilts, no matter what you're selling, you want to provide some type of thank you. That for me, I like giving gifts, so I'm going to make it somewhat monetary. It can be as simple as sending them a thank you card, right? And I would say that that's a minimum standard, in my opinion. If somebody refers you business, you better get their address and say, hey, thanks so much for sending the business. I have a gift for you. Or I have a thank you that I want to send you. What's your address? And it does a couple things, guys. It gets you more information on that client. And then it also gives you something to send them. And then you can put them on a rotation if you ever decide to send out a mailer for any special that you're holding within your business or a new launch. Because I think there were a couple people who were doing books in here. If you're doing a book launch, I mean, you need to take advantage of all the avenues for marketing that you can. Right. So that was my example of what to do when you get a referral. Right. You need to do something. Right. So right now, if you're not doing anything, if people have sent you business and you've done nothing aside from, hey, thank you so much, man. Hey, Miss Veronica Warren, I appreciate that. Thank you. And it's just a phone call. That's good. But I think we need to step it up. We need to exceed those expectations and reward. I know it sounds awkward to say it, but in a business scenario, you need to reward the behavior you want to see from the clients that you're working with. Right. Just simple stuff right there. Okay. So now here's where I get into some meaty stuff and some tech platforms that I think you're likely going to want to, get a pen and pad for. And to be honest, guys, all this stuff is biblical, in my opinion. All this stuff, there's a biblical example of you creating something like this. All right. So here we go. Lead funnels. Who has a lead funnel for their business? Who actually, I should say this. Let's just be, super transparent. Just put if you know, or if you don't know what a lead funnel is, just put like me or I don't know in the chat box, because I kind of want to get an idea of the, what our awareness is of some of these products and some of these services that can service our business. I don't. Okay. Me. Good. I want to make sure I'm giving value. Okay. So we got a pretty good amount. Family, me. All right. Okay, cool. Okay. So what a lead funnel is, it's, for the purpose of this, make it very, very quick. It's like a landing page or a website. It's a one-page website where people go to, they click it, and they fill out information. Now, you may see other versions of this on social media where they route you to, another type of landing page where it's just name, email for the 5 points on business success, right? The 5 Bible verses to speak over your family. Click here, name, email, boom, done. That is in essence a lead funnel. That is the best way, in my opinion, to get business. Or the reason it's a good business opportunity is because those people are raising their hand saying, yes, I want to talk to you about that opportunity, or I want to talk to you about that information. Now, here's where the example comes in. The cool thing about lead funnels is they are funnels. Almost think of them like a giant spider web out on the internet, right? Literally a spider web in the interwebs. That is what it is. And people get stuck on it, but in a good way. It's because they were curious, right? It's not curiosity that killed the cat this time. It's actually curiosity that helped, spawn an opportunity. And so that's in essence what a lead funnel is. You've probably clicked it and didn't know you were going into a funnel, right? If you've ever clicked anything via email, put your name, email, phone number, and you got a call. How many of you have gotten the call about the timeshare because you filled something out? That was a lead funnel. That's a lead funnel, guys. All right. Now, here is the example of the lead funnel. God has lead funnels everywhere that point back to him. Here's the example I have for you. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day, they pour forth speech. Night after night, they reveal knowledge. They have no speech. Um, they use no words, no sound is heard from them, yet their voice goes on into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. In the heavens, God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of the chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. It rises at one end of the heavens and it makes its circuit to the other. Nothing is deprived of its warmth. So everything points back to God, right? So there's also another verse, and I didn't get a chance to write it down, but it also says that if no one says anything, the rocks will cry out, and they're going to cry out to proclaim who? God. He's bringing people back to him, no matter what it is. It can be a person, it can be a donkey, it can be rocks. All right. So a lead funnel for our business is very much like God creating trees and people seeing the beauty in that and thinking, man, there had to have been a master creator for that. And the Lord interceding. And in that moment, he experiences oneness with the Lord by looking at trees and looking at nature. So nature, in my opinion, is an example of God's lead funnel. Now, here's what you want to write down. Here's some practical lead funnels that you can take advantage of, right? Of course, there's websites that you can subscribe to. If you don't have a website and you're running a service-based business or you're running any business, it is your digital storefront and it provides validity for you. It is a level of validity that I believe most of us need, whether it's a one pager because you're promoting a book or you're promoting a one single type of service, like I believe there was a young lady who was making quilts, or you're doing, something a little bit more, multifaceted. Maybe you're a lawn care provider and you're offering fertilizer, you do trees, you do, mow and blow and trim and all that stuff, bag it or no bag it. And you have all these different levels of services. There needs to be a place where people can go. But here's some examples of where you can go to create your website, right? And I'm sure you might know these, but I'm just going to repeat them here for emphasis, right? We have Wix, Wix. We have GoDaddy. We have Squarespace, right? If you've ever, Google used to have a domain place, but they are no longer hosting domains, right? Which is kind of ironic. They're almost in that World Wide Web business, and I would imagine they would have the domain thing, but they've actually sold off their book of business for domain hosting to Squarespace. So the domains I purchased through Google, they're actually being hosted by Squarespace, and you can use those websites if you want. So that's just the website. Within most of those websites, ladies and gentlemen, you can create single landing pages. You can create different things that will feed your business. Of course, you can also pay for these services. And so I'm not here to promote any services because there are plenty out there already that are likely vying for your business. If you've ever searched SEO or lead funnels or, leads for any type for your business, you will likely start getting spammed on social media and on the internet for those types of services specific to your business. Now, the other thing to consider, how many of you have a retail type of business where you sell single products? Any of y'all? If you do, because I know a lot of y'all aren't on Zoom, but just type me, like in the thing, right? Or retail or something like that. So I can kind of get an idea. All right. Okay. So we got some more. Yeah. Okay. We got enough. So here's something to consider. Social media online shops. Now, I'm gonna post it in the comments here. If you did not, how many of y'all are on Instagram? Just type Instagram right here if you're on Instagram. Let me see here. Okay. All right. IG. Ooh, you got the fancy one that just got straight to the point. I'm on IG. If you're typing IG, you're probably younger than me. Maybe not. I don't know. All right. I'm gonna post. Let me see if I can find the link. Okay, it's not this one. Let me find it here. Oh, wait. Okay, let me see here. I'm gonna find it for y'all. Okay, let me just. All right. All right. So I just posted the link. If you do Instagram and you post single products, you need to put together an Instagram shop. I'm not sure if it's layered over a Spotify or a Shopify. How many of you are familiar with Shopify? Okay. I'm not sure if you need a Shopify account or if you can just do it straight on Instagram to host your shop. But if you're posting anything, you definitely need to promote your products there to yeah, to get more attention on your space for your products. You can also host a TikTok shop, right? There's TikTok shops. If you're familiar with that, you should, or if you're not familiar with that, that needs to be a note, especially if you're doing, retail, like maybe you make earrings. Again, even the quilts, I think that would be a great thing. It's you're what is it called, commissioning a new quilt. That would be what I would put it up under. You're getting that commissioned. So what else? Shopify, you can do a Shopify account. Now if you want to level it up, let's say you're like Matt, I'm ready to scale and I just need more clients. I just need more clients. Here's a platform you need to consider. How many of you, I want you to type in the chat database, if you have a database for your business. Ladies and gentlemen. Good. Okay, I got some people. I was about to say, yeah, a CRM. Okay, we got one. Okay, we got a few. I mean, we have like a lot of people on this call, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not have a database, that's the one thing you need to, at the end of these weeks, you need to put together. You need, like, I'm not even joking. You need to. How are you going to track? Like, I mean, you just need to trust me. You need to. Here's why you need to have a database for your people. And I know for some reason, if you're looking at this or if you're thinking about it, how many of you have like an icky feeling about, well, I don't want to collect people's emails and gather information, and I go to church with them. How many of you feel that way? No? Okay, good. Perfect. We have nobody feeling icky about gathering information. Perfect. Yes, Tony, that's right. They are leads and they are opportunity, right? So I know it sounds you know, non-personal, right? Calling potential people that we meet at Grace leads, but there's no other term to necessarily call them when they raise their hand to some capacity and say, "Hey, I'm interested." When they say they're interested, that's a lead. Yeah, so that's another example. So I was going to give you some. These are some of the examples of CRM or databases that anybody can use regardless of the business, because there are a whole slew of CRMs or database management systems. CRM is an acronym for customer relationship management, customer relationship manager. That's in essence what they stand for, or client. So that's what the CRM stands for. If you really want to go hardcore on this, Salesforce, HubSpot. Salesforce and HubSpot are the top ones. I know there are others out there, but if you really want to level up your game, and like I said, if you're ready to scale, those are two that you definitely need to consider. Another good thing to do is if you're wanting to compare or find an alternative to these more expensive ones, just type in Salesforce cheap alternative and you'll find stuff on Google. That's what I do when I'm looking for an alternate product to that more expensive one. Uh, how many of you, okay, yeah, so that's that. Okay. The other thing is, let's say that's not necessarily the route you want to go, where you want to do a bunch of lead stuff, but you already have a huge client base that you want to continue to develop that relationship with. Because the reason that's important is, again, you want to find a way to continue to build relationship because that's building rapport. Newsletters are an easy way to do that, and it doesn't feel as salesy, but it keeps you providing information and value to your people. Now I have a couple references or examples for you guys. Um, let me put them on here for you. Okay, not that screen. Okay, so here are a couple. Actually, excuse me. This is what I also wanted to share. I'm going to share with you some statistics on just email marketing systems in a second, but I'm going to find. Come on, I had a list here that I was going to share with y'all. Okay, goodness, I think I accidentally deleted it. It's okay. I know some of them. There's a Beehive. Beehive is one, like B and then HIVE. There's also Flowdesk is another one that you can create newsletters. And they honestly, those newsletters can turn into business revenue for you. There's some of these platforms, I believe Beehive is one of them, where you can turn it into a revenue stream if you build it big enough. And I'm talking like you have like 1,000 subscribers. I think this could be very valuable if you're a service-based provider and you're providing insight into that service you provide. Now let's go with the landscaper or the lawn care provider. Huh? There's a lawn care provider. Are they still in? Are they in the call? Okay, Andres, awesome. Here's why you would want to do a newsletter if you're a lawn care provider. You want to provide times on when to fertilize, even though you want to likely do that service. These are the best time to fertilize. If you're not willing to do it, here's an opportunity. Here's a base price. I can start doing it next week, whatever it may be. But best time to fertilize, and rank the types of fertilizers and send that information out. When to plant perennials, best time to plant new flowers, best time to cut back your flowers, right? How to prep for a freeze, how to prepare your garden for the freeze, right? So all these things on taking care of your lawn are an easy opportunity for you to provide a monthly or weekly or bi-monthly newsletter, right? And that could be the same even for quilting. So let's say you're the is the young lady that does the quilts on here? Just put here or quilts in the chat so I know I'm talking to you. But here's the example. If you do a more a more customized experience. Okay, got Miss Veronica. Also, yeah, that's right. Um, you can sewing tips, right? Like simple things parents can do for keepsakes, like old kid shirts, and you can share that with what they do. Or you can share a few examples of how you did it, and that's it, right? Or maybe you can do like photos, step-by-step guide. And if you don't want to do it, here's an example of what I've done. I can do yours for just send me the shirts in a self-addressed stamped, and I'll take care of the rest for you. You almost want to make it as streamlined and as simple as possible, right? Remember, it's a microwave society. We can order something now and I can have Amazon deliver it to my door tomorrow morning, right? So we have to think about how to make it easy for our customers to engage in business with us. Those that can make it the easiest and provide the best experience, because the millennials are getting older, right? And the Xennials, where they prefer an experience almost versus an inexpensive price. If they know the experience is going to be up there, they will pay for that. They will pay for the better experience. That's why there's more of the fast food type stuff like Kava, places like, I mean, they're still big, but I mean, McDonald's, I'm not sure what their revenue looked like over the past few, but there's also, again, I mean, I'm kind of going on a rabbit trail here, but the point I'm trying to make is we need to make it as insightful and provide as much value to our clients and also at the same time sharing with them how we can do that instead. If they don't have time, hey, I can make that quote for you with your baby bibs that you had whatever done for you, something to that effect. And the same thing, Andres, with the list of services that you provide, almost telling them how to do it themselves. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but when you are the source of all their information, hey, Andres, you know what? Can you just give me my dude? Yeah, like, I mean, I could do it, but dude, I want to just hang out with my kids. You're like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll do it for you, right? Put me on a schedule, right? Whatever the case is. So those are great examples of that. All right, so let me pause here because I've gone 100 miles an hour, and I want to give y'all a chance to talk back at me. So what are some thoughts y'all have had with the things I've shared? And I have one more point to make, but I want to get in some conversation. Any insight?
So I would say very quickly, thank you for sharing those things because the names of the products and services that you brought up are not on my list. So now I can do some comparison to see that if first, am I getting the best deal, the best service, those kind of things. So I really appreciate you sharing those names of those different services and things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need it. We need to, guys. Like, we need to be able to share with each other services and platforms that help us run efficiently. Because I don't know about you. I mean, I had 3 kids today all day with me, and it was a little tough, a little challenging to get some work done, right? Especially this week. But yeah.
And efficiency is key. It is, we are all so busy and we need to move as fast as we possibly can to cover as much as we can in the time that we have.
Yeah. Ooh, I love it, Mr. Jace Folk. The notes. Thank you for sending those notes. Do you mind if I share that with people in the group? Is that okay, Jace? Give me a thumbs up if that's cool or not.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I'm gonna repost them in the group here just in case. Yeah, everyone in the meeting. Yeah, so there's Beehive. There's a Morning Brew. How many of you heard of the newsletter called Morning Brew? It's a financial services newsletter, and all they did was start a newsletter back in college. They started a newsletter back in college, and they sold it for tens of millions of dollars to a major financial company. So those are the other types of ways your newsletter can then become bigger than, and I'm not saying your business isn't big, but it could potentially become bigger than your business, right? And it's all by providing value on a weekly email or a monthly email. But many of these are definitely weekly emails. There's, a synopsis of stuff. So cool. Now, here's another one if you want to go even deeper to build a community. Now, I got this insight from the Book of Acts. The Book of Acts, for me, is just all about community. It's the early church, and they're building a network, and they're connecting with each other, and they're settling into efficiencies. Now, one of the ways we can be efficient within our business, and I think this may be an opportunity for us to some capacity, and I'm going to kind of run this through with Pastor Brett. But if you provide some type of service-based business or you provide some type of education, are there any education-based service businesses in the chat today? How many of you are maybe even thinking about providing some type of, okay, Mr. Mara, awesome. This might be for you. This might be, these are definitely for, all right, cool, we got a couple, awesome. And let me know if you've heard of these. So again, I just wanted to emphasize the Book of Acts, all about community, bringing people together into a network, and not so much that you're excluding, but you're emphasizing the value you can bring and saying, hey, look, if you really want to connect on a deeper level, you got to get in this group. Mighty networks. Imagine creating your own social network for a small group of people, 10, 20, 100 plus people, where they can jump in, and you can also monetize that network. Now that, in my opinion, it's just a way for you to monetize your library of content in the event you are an education-based service business, right? Mighty networks, and it's spelled just how it sounds, nothing fancy, right? Another one is called Circle. These are almost mini social media communities that are just personalized. They range in price a month, anywhere between $30 to $50 a month for the basic package, but you can host You can host live webinars in an enclosed space, and then those webinars can just be static, right? They can be just hanging out in this place, and they can be a library of continued content for people to learn. I'm not saying this wouldn't work for, again, like a sewing business, right? You can how to sew, how to create this thing, right? This could be something to do. It could be showing people how to cut their lawn efficiently. I've seen some people cut grass, Andres, and I'm just saying, bro. I know you like driving by. You're like, man, just let me cut your grass. Just give it to me. Like you're taking so much time. You're going too slow with the weed eater. You kind of gotta just go fast, right? Anyways, I know what I'm talking about. Anyways, but that's a great way to post education about what if you really want to level it up and provide a unique community experience to the people that you're doing business with, it's only limited by your creativity, right? Kajabi is another one. Kajabi is spelled like this. Oh yeah, the chopped up edges drive. Yeah, I know, dude. If you go too slow, you chop up your edges. Kajabi. Kajabi is one, and of course, you want to keep it simple. You want to be inexpensive. Facebook groups. Simple, easy. Create a private Facebook group. Honestly, everybody who's running a business, when they engage in business with you, you can invite them to your Facebook group and create one and say, hey, it's only for clients, and blah, 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 and post stuff there. Maybe that would be a great place to post. Like if you're running a special on something, create a unique thing. Hey, I posted a special. It's in my Facebook group. Check it out there. I mean, I know you've probably been invited. I think their Facebook, Instagram have launched like these mini chat groups. They're kind of annoying. I don't know about y'all, but they just feel like I always get all these alerts for these chat. It's like I didn't ask for these chat groups. Somehow I got invited to all these chat groups in Facebook. But so those are a few examples of taking your business and creating a community. And that can be super, super valuable for you. Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much. Again, I will post the video for us to watch later. Yeah, so those are some of the things I think that we can definitely do. And again, did the biblical examples provide any validity to what I shared? Just curious. How did the biblical examples make it maybe hit home or not for y'all? Anybody jump out and share? Don't be afraid, guys. Roger, thank you. Also, by the way, if you are talking, everybody's on mute. So maybe you are talking and you're not realizing that you're on mute. Guys, I want to talk. I want to hear y'all's voice. Oh, and if you see me at church, please stop me because it's hard to tell who's we all look different on a Sunday. I'm just saying. We all look different on a Sunday morning, all fresh, showered, and whatever. Me not. All right. So what was up?
I saw you out there, and I gave you the side eye because I wasn't sure if that was you or not.
Sorry, give me the side eye. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I never thought how these laws were systems to manage our community. Yeah, definitely, man. They really are. I mean, it's all for me though. I just over this past, and that's what made me want to put this life group together. Is over the past few months, I've been reading some of these Bible verses and just thinking, man, no, this is definitely biblical. Like to do this thing, I was like, that sounds like this. And I'm going to give you another example. Oh, Miss Veronica, you said, yeah, the example of the 12, even as Jesus was not around, the disciples would be able to continue them. Yeah, for sure, for sure. So let's look at the seed that was thrown on the different grounds, right? Okay, so let's go back even a little bit more, right? Before I really go back and explain the way I see the seed thrown on the different grounds. How many of you actively talk about your business to at least 2 people every day? 2? Okay. 2 people that aren't already customers, 2 new people. Let's not do the cop out and say, oh yeah, well, I chatted with my current client. And that's like, nah, they don't count. New people. We need new people. We need to grow the business. Grow the business. That means you talk to new people. Maria, Tony, you got your wife talking to everybody. Hey, one of the two in the husband and wife is usually the talker. Funny enough, my wife and I are both the talkers, so we can, we love talking to everybody. So here's how I see also the parable of the seed that was thrown in the different grounds. When you talk about your business to different people, sometimes it's going to land and it's going to be like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's great. And it's going to sprout and then dry up because of sun, and they're not going to remember you. Right. And it's also going to, land in the thistles, and it's going to get choked out by the other people that are out there doing the same thing. Right. And then you're also going to talk to some people, and it's going to land and it's going to take root, and they're going to be clients for life. Right. That parable about the seed, yes, it is first about the Lord and spreading his word. And people, sadly, they get succumbed to the ways of the world and they get distracted. But I also believe that can pertain to our business. Like, that is, if we are truly in business to steward this idea that the Lord gave us and put in our heart, and we believe that the income we bring in through this business will help advance the kingdom in addition to providing for our family, then that parable applies to our businesses also. It extends throughout the whole vine, right? And if God gave you that to steward for this season, I do believe that parable. So that means we need to tell a lot of people. We need to tell plenty of people, because for the 5 you tell, one's going to do business with you. Honestly, I think the stats are more like, for every 20 people you tell, it's more like 1 or 2, something to that effect, especially in today's economy where not as much business is flowing. You need to tell a ton of people. And it may be different depending on the type of business you do, right? And if you're doing something that's more custom and more specific and maybe seen somewhat as a luxury, then you need to talk to ever more people. You need to find a way to get in front of as many people as possible, or talk to as many people as possible about it. Get into the spaces where that is a common conversation about whatever you provide, and network the heck out of yourself, right? I mean, wear shirts. I had a oh yeah, that is another question. If you are a person who does shirts or know somebody who does shirts, I have some t-shirts that I've been wanting to brand. And so I'd love to connect with you. My cell phone is a person that that's where I text from. So just, send me a text and say, hey, I do shirts. And I would love to connect with you. But yeah, so those are some of the ideas and how I've been reading the word. Has anybody encountered anything since last week that has, been placed upon their heart to share in this group that they want to share with us? Any wins?
Yeah, Matt, one of the things that me and Tony started doing is listening, because we do photography, we do a lot of editing, so we don't have time to really read books, but we do a lot of audio books or even YouTube books. So one of the things that we've been like listening to is like words of affirmation and what the Bible tells us about, success and the gifts that he's going to give us and his provision, and just getting that soaked into ourselves has done a dramatic improvement in the business itself.
That is so awesome. That's cool. If there's any affirmations you want to share with the group, just type them in the chat. That would be awesome.
Okay, I will.
Anybody else have any wins that they want to share? Somebody has to have a win.
So for my business, going back to what you were first talking about, Matt, as far as like finding that one person and making them really feel right.
Yeah.
My first business that I started, I really impressed someone, and angel investment of $25,000 for 20% ownership, even though I hadn't sold a product yet.
Wow.
Now, the reason I had a really good product, and that was why, but he was willing to put forth everything to make it happen. And so often, one of the things that's going to be an obstacle is just knowing the right person and making that right impact. And if you just treat everybody like they could be that person, or someone they know might be that person, it's probably going to help you in the long run.
Oh man, that is so true. And they might not be the person, but they could know the person as well.
Exactly. Yes.
That happened to me one time where I was doing it was a real estate thing, and I was trying to help them find a rent house. And if you're familiar with real estate at all, helping somebody find a house to rent is very hard, believe it or not. It's, in some cases, it can be harder than helping them find a house because of the hoops they have to go through, the credit that they need to have, and just different circumstances. So it took me a while to help them get a rent home. but they then referred me somebody because of how I treated them renting. And that, of course, led to another opportunity. So again, sometimes just like you said, yes, every person you need to treat, like with an amazing, Chick-fil-A experience to some degree or better, right? You need to give them your business version of that, right? And, but yeah, sometimes if we treat that person right, they're going to refer us some business that could be another big opportunity. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Jace, for sharing that. So tell me a little bit more about what kind of business are you doing? I'm curious now.
So my business is a very simple manufactured product. Basically, it's a polycarbonate product. I ordered that. I have it laser cut to a design. It's really a fabric, but because it's a stiff material, it kind of acts like a spring and it works to do what I want it to do. I don't manage packaging. I don't manage storage. I don't manage the laser shipping. I don't do the website. All I do is manage the relationships and the design of the product or products moving forward. So what that means is my profit margin is much lower.
Yeah.
However, it means that I can purely focus on what I'm actually good at, right? So going back to what you had talked about and finding the people that are good at other things, like my manufacturer is extremely efficient, and he also handles my storage, right? He runs his entire shop working. I think he has 12 companies, and he only works with like 10 employees, despite doing lots. And we're talking hundreds of shipments a day. Quite efficient. So finding the right business partners and then focusing on what you're good at can really, really help.
That's good. That is so good. Excuse me. No, yeah, that's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing, Jace. I appreciate that. I also want to share with y'all that I do have some other, business owners as well that are going to be like guest speakers. One that's running, another pest control business that he's had to do twice over, just due to some different things that, Lord willing, he shares in some more detail. And then another gentleman who helps creatives who are working for NFL, MLB, NBA sports teams, and he partners with them to host conferences and do many other things. So just getting a creative mind for some of our businesses, because sometimes we're still stuck in what we do, similar to what Jace was saying, that we need that creative person to help us market our business better. And so I'm gonna, kind of bring him in and just help him just ask him to give us some other insight on how to be more creative and how to be more marketable to our business and share the story that we have to tell about our business, because that's what he helps other businesses do. He's done that with it's a guy who does race cars, and it's what leads up to then NASCAR. So it's like these specific types of cars. I think they're like trucks. They have a specific name, but he does that. Anyway, so he's helped people put together marketing packages for their image and their brand. So that's what he does. He used to do with the Astros. So Lord willing, if all works well, he'll be on the call with us next week. So I'm excited about that. Let me think here. Yeah, any other thoughts that y'all have had? Any other insights from last meeting to now, or any ahas that y'all have had on this meeting specifically? Are there any links you would like me to share for some of those other products that I was talking about that maybe you couldn't find if you were kind of doing multitasking? Okay. I see. A little quiet this time, more talkative last.
So what did you say for Kajabi? And you said two more other website. What were those for bringing people together?
Yes, let me see here. I'll put it here. Oh, what happened?
Okay, Matthew.
What's up?
Me and my wife, like we're big into reading, but reading audiobooks. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the website Scribe.
Yes.
It's like unlimited books. It's not like the the Amazon one where I think you only get one or two books per month or something like that. This one you could read a bunch of books, and it's only like $10 or $15 a month, and it's unlimited. I don't know if y'all want to link to it, but that has helped us a lot. So that way we have access to a bunch of books through that site.
Oh yeah, man. Yes, please share that. That'd be awesome. So I shared a couple of them. Scribe, that's awesome. I'm going to click that right now. Have it in my window. Okay, cool. So Kajabi, Mighty Networks, Circle's another cool one. Let me put that in here. And oh, this was the other one I was going to share. I'm so glad I remembered. If you want to create an app, how many of you have ever thought about creating an app but don't know where to start for your business? Yes. Here's the really super expensive one, and I think we'll start there and then we'll go down, right? So there is Buildfire. Buildfire. All right, just type in Buildfire app, custom app. And that is the top tier. You want to create something super custom, that's the one you go to. If you want something else, there's another app called Passion.io, Passion.io. That's another one. Let me see here. Let me go to type it in. All right, so I'm going to post it in here, these links for you. So there's one link. And then hold on, let me find. Hold on. Where is it? Circle. Oh yeah, here it is. Found it. Yeah, I'm glad I searched for it. So if you're looking for Circle, your circle.so. Circle.so is that other community one. There's Passion. There is all right, let me see here. There was another one that was really, really good. There's Appy Pie. I'll put it here. Now the reason, here's again, I think this is an extension of your business. You can use the app builder to be an extension of your business versus maybe a website. But you could still have a website. I think there's versions of some of these apps where it also can second as a website. It can be a single platform page. But the app, what the app does, it allows people to connect with you. You can host videos there. You can also receive payments through the app. So this can work for many, many different businesses, whether you're selling single-use products, retail stuff, whether you're doing service-based businesses. That's another thing where you can host here. So I mean, it just really depends. If you really want to execute on this app idea and you want to brainstorm about it, by all means, give me a call. I would love to chat with you about how to brainstorm your app idea and how it can work. And we can talk about that together. So those are just some of the ideas. So I know, like I was sharing before, all these ideas will work for somebody, but I don't think everybody needs all the ideas, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I mean, definitely at some point, but maybe at scale. Some of these products will definitely fit at scale. The cool thing with these apps, though, is you can send out mass notifications with these. So if you're running a special some product or service that you're going to do for Black Friday, and you have, let's say, 10 subscribers, 20, 30, 100 subscribers on your app, it'll send them an SMS through the notification or through an alert through the app. So you know how you have different apps and those apps give you notifications? That's how I'll notify the people if they are a part of your app. So thought there. Oh, this one looks cool. This Dubsado sounds neat. I like that. Sounds cool. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're coming to the end of our session 2. Value, yes, no, give me a thumbs up or something. Any value, no value? Awesome, guys. Well, I really appreciate it. I'm so glad y'all take time out of your Tuesday evening. Y'all could be doing anything else, but I thank God that you're here with us. I'm gonna end in prayer, and then we'll get on with our night. Sound good? All right, Lord, thank you so much for allowing us to come together to be in your presence, talk about business and how to advance the kingdom by being good stewards of the ideas and the businesses that you put in our hands to steward, Lord. Give us the diligence to run these businesses efficiently, help us to provide for our families, and just give to you as you've called us to give with a cheerful heart, and to give and do all things as we are doing them for you, and give our clients the best experience, and to be a light to everybody we do business with. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.